What is more important to you, your quality of life and your future, or your political preference? Data shows that now and in the projected future, living and raising a family in a red state is better for your future. It's important to note that I absolutely am not trying to persuade anyone to vote a certain way, but I am simply suggesting that for the individual, the blue economic model isn't exactly working. Over the past decade, tens of thousands of people are moving from blue states to red states each year. This isn't a random occurrence. It is a pattern, and it tells a lot about the economic performances of each type of state. When we talk about red and blue states, it is important to know that whether a state is defined as a red or a blue state doesn't necessarily derive from how it typically votes in a presidential election. It is determined by a state's legislature and what party runs and has run the state for an extended period of time. In 2014, 30 state legislatures were held by Republican majorities in both houses, and 11 were completely controlled by Democrats. In that year, clear lines in gross state product growth rates exist. Red state economies grew an average of more than 27% faster than blue states. Additionally, in 2014, year-over-year wage growth rates in red states outpaced blue states by more than 5%. In the end, as an American, you hope for the success for all states and individuals, regardless of political preference. As a result, I believe it is time for the blue economic model to be altered in a way that halts the outmigration from blue states. The solution to this issue isn't simply that blue states need to adopt the red model in every single way and that will fix it. Red states are far from the perfect economic example, but the numbers of individuals that are moving from blue states to red shows the greater economic opportunity in red states. Blue states need to adopt a more pro-taxpayer approach as well as a business-friendly tax system. One important factor that many red states have adopted is the low to none income tax. States that have adopted this, such as Texas and Tennessee, for example, have produced 2 to 3 times as many jobs as blue states that do not have a low income tax. Perhaps if some blue states adopted a more of a right-to-work model with lower income taxes, we would see less of an outmigration from blue states. If the outmigration from blue states to red doesn't get addressed, there will be consequences. America as a whole is in one of the most politically and culturally divided states that it has been in since the Civil War. Outmigration is surprisingly contributing to political polarization. The trend over the last few elections is that red states are getting redder and blue states are getting bluer. If outmigration continues to occur, there will be less and less of a political mix in states, which could lead to another domestic political and cultural clash between one another. A balance is important, and it is time for the blue economic model to be adjusted to help prevent another domestic clash. To reiterate, the point of this speech is not to convince you that one party is better than another or that you should vote a certain way. The point is that overall, the blue economic model has been vastly underperforming, which is why we see red states gaining so many more people from blue states. Currently and in the projected future, based on the trend we are seeing, red states offer a better quality of life and increased economic opportunity. This needs to change, as the consequences of political polarization are well known by this country. Whether you are a Democrat, Republican, or other, it is in your best interest to urge blue states to alter their economic policies. Even if it is just changing one aspect, such as the income tax rates, it could have a huge impact in not only preventing political polarization, but also preventing America from making the same mistake it has made in the past. Thank you.